I was so any
I was right. Currently, league of they and if you look at that match better then the teams are struggling side. More than up like points team only I know you're now for instance
love to agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. You know, I don't know if I can trust this team down the stretch. Now, I'll give you this. The first 2 games, really impressive. But I'll give the first 2. The Princeton win was a team win, but the first 2 really came out to individual performances. Raviv had 22 points, Grisdale had 33 points, and she set a record for the most threes made in one game for the women's basketball team. Now, listen. It's been impressive, but you look down the stretch, 8 games in January, 7 games in February, and their only homestand, the longest homestand they have is 2 games. I just think that where this team is right now is they're relying on Raviv and Grisdale, and even someone like Kmart to step up in the big moments. And I will also say their off-ball movement on offense is very poor. It's a lot of ball watching. Now, let me run a hypothetical by you here. Let's say the whole team is relying on Grisdale to shoot the ball well, right? Like, let's just say that, okay? And let's say that Grisdale's not playing well.
But you're wrong.
The off-ball movement is so bad, their offense gets almost shut down completely.
Against Holy Cross, they won. Grisdale had 8 points that game. Other players stepped up, like Carson Martin and Gal Raviv, to get those points. So what you're saying is that they're relying on Grisdale, which is not true. Other players are getting involved on offense.
I said Raviv and Grisdale. I'll give you this. There's more than one player who can step up. The thing is, though, is that it's been individual performance based, and when you get into MAC play, these are going to be gritty teams, and we're talking about going home away, home away. There's a bunch of times where they go away 3 times in a row, and I'm also going to say this: yes, they might be the rank. Right
now,
I'm
this
just
team
saying
is not struggling for defense is what they have to fix. So you're saying their offense is if they're locking down Jockey.
I had right in here, defensive rebounding is poor. That's literally all I wrote right there. It's bad. I don't know if I can see this team down the stretch winning game after game after game after game against top MAC opponents.
No one said they have to be undefeated in MAC play. It's just they have to be dominant.
Well, that's what
like,
dominance is. Dominance is one or two.
Yeah, exactly. So we're agreeing.
All right, guys, we have to move on for time here. So staying on the hardwood, but switching to the men's side, on Friday night, the men's basketball team defeated Maine with a score of 58-55. Even with the win, what is the biggest thing the team can do to stay consistent on offense? Zach, you were calling the game against Maine, so why don't you start us off?
So my point is very simply, use what is working. It's use what's working. And right now, two things that either need to be working or are working. It's Zimmerman controlling the ball well and Zimmerman showing up on offense, taking quality shots, and it's Otieno being dominant in the paint. Last year, when Otieno had 9 or more rebounds, the Bobcats were 11-0. Zimmerman had 3 straight games of 10-plus points, and he's taking quality shots. He's shooting 62.5% from the field. These two guys are the best, most consistent players on the team. Now, also add Amari Monroe in there. Monroe's been great as well. But right now, they need to ride the hot hand. That's a really important thing in all sports. But basketball right now needs to take it up. Zimmerman should be playing 25-20. Enough. Tom Pecora, even though Zimmerman's a first year, needs to give Zimmerman more minutes. He needs to go with what's working and ride it, and the other pieces are going to fit into play. They're going to fit in as the season goes on.
All right, I think we're kind of agreeing a little bit, but not really. Points. And against me, and he had 8 points. That's a dominant game. That's a dominant game.
You are crazy if you're telling me that Otieno is supposed to be the scoring paint guy. No, it's all about rebounds. He needs to be that rebounding guy. I mean, Pecora even said it in the first half against Maine.
With those rebounds too.
In the first half against Maine, I'll give you this: Otieno had 0 rebounds, but Pecora knows that he needs to be out there, and he has been when it comes to rebounding. He's not supposed to be the scorer. Guy.
I think playing the ball. Field from Maine, it's just he's not really adding. He's supposed to step into that Matt Blanc role, and he's not really stepping into that role that everyone. For 2, he had 4 points though off 3 throws, and then against St. John's he was 1 for 7 with. Make more of a role.
Our
adults, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused. A habit we never skip. To drown out the self-doubt.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority. Everyone has a ritual.
Our minds and out.
Your head in the game. To drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just
Your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. We have 4 QPSN Executive Board members live in the studio to give their hot takes about each of the winter sports teams. Once they give their takes, Brittany and Zach will talk
to the tournament, and in Lake Placid, we're
Absolutely not. I think that the Bobcats have not shown happen.
Well, they had a great week. I think we'll
so on that.
four. Brittany and Zach.
They already had some big upsets. They took down number 7 Clarkson and going with them. This is like kind of their year. Their goaltending's been phenomenal.
Honestly, yes, this team has something special. If they can go 2-2 against Cornell and Colgate this season, I think that it's.
So the women's ice hockey team, I believe that they can do it. I have the faith. Now, switching to the court, we have Associate Magazine designer Luke Sennett here to give us his take on the 2-2 men's basketball team. Luke?
For love.
First, definitely win that. If they're a number 15 or 16 seed playing number 1 or 2 seed, I don't think they can win a game in the NCAA tournament.
Zach, don't go maybe. Just go yes. You know, this team has more potential than last year. They're starting to, if they start playing like a team, they definitely could. Upsets happen all the time. Do you remember a little MAC team from a couple years ago called St. Peter's that made a little run in the NCAA tournament?
That team had a special guy named Doug Eder. There's no Doug Eder on Quinnipiac.
Well, we have Amari Monroe. I think there's a chance.
All right.
Quinnipiac is
All
Amari
right.
Monroe. I think
All right.
there's a chance.
That's fair.
So I don't think that the team has it in them to win a game in March Madness. Staying on the court, but to the women's side, magazine editor-in-chief John Pilato is here to give his take on the women's basketball team.
Thanks, Katrina. The team is currently 3-0 overall and 2-0 on the home court. And I think that they will keep this trend up, and they won't give up a loss on their home court all year. Brittany and Zach, are you guys agreeing with me?
Brittany, you want to start?
I think they can go undefeated on the home court. I know it's definitely possible. Their biggest, I know, but I think it's like only contenders that they have is Fairfield and Niagara. I think they can make a run and be undefeated at the home court. Call me crazy all you want, but I think this team has the potential.
I'll call you crazy. If this team magically turns into 96, 97 Bulls, then sure. There's absolutely no way. The last
The
time.
question is undefeated at home court. You know
The
that, right?
last.
Home court.
I got a stat here that's just gonna destroy your whole argument. Ready? The last time the team was tournament game, no. There's absolutely no way they're going to 96, 97 Bulls. That I would give it to them.
I think there's potential here. I think they can do it.
There's no potential. It's not happening.
All right, well, I also do have to disagree with John here. No. Although 90.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Not alone. Once you take that first step, there's so much support.
It's out.
Just go. Shooting. Ahead. And it's who would
be see there's Niagara is the stats, Quinnipiac and played against Ryder and Niagara. Ryder matchup. There's more.
Most depending. What's the Bobcats dominated Merrimack in both matchups. 2 3-0 wins, one early season, one late October. And their best players were at their best. Damla Ganesh averaged 32 assists per game versus Merrimack compared to 27 on Merrimack. It happens.
All right, so we're going
it's
with this
Merrimack.
possible scenario. So Merrimack goes on a run, then they beat Niagara, then they beat number 3 Ryder. So then doesn't Merrimack also have the potential then to beat Quinnipiac if they're on that run like that?
Of course, I wasn't
I'm just
assuming.
If we're gonna be realistic, well, let's be realistic here, okay? You gotta be realistic.
You can be realistic all you want, Brittany.
That's like
but
saying,
the question was best scenario because if what's it? The question like which would probably even if they were to
ideal world, but we don't.
It's not an ideal world, is it? The question: what's the best matchup? And the best matchup is Merrimack. It is. It is. At the end of the day, it is. I mean, I'll give you this. I believe that they're going to end up playing right. I think that that's what's going to happen. I think that's going to be a 5-set match. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for them, but Merrimack would be the easiest way for them to get to the finals.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm just thinking about the way that if you think about that it's going to be Merrimack, then that they beat Niagara and then they beat the 3-seed Rider, which was a close matchup between Quinnipiac and Rider last time they played. So they already beat Rider, so then Merrimack has the potential to beat them too. So then if you're going on a run like that scenario where it's like moving it for
like them playing a better team would be make it get they go to the championship. Real
Have a the team line double
give me now team beginning add that scoring. Rebound. Your team adds game for I have they were I think that okay. And
better if you
were wrong. I got black. Can look.
but we're
One, a pretty Yale does not give me then
tell
Tom.
commercial. Come back.
way this game. Let me get
There's upon behind. I here for the I mean didn't even about world and I is the moment put your how
It takes time. This journey is an uphill climb, but men's basketball head coach Tom McCord took his first Hofstra men's basketball under legendary coach Jay. Elite Division I basketball program. Coaching like